Hello and welcome to demo how to prepare environment and deploy a .NET application in 20 minutes from scratch. My name is Yaroslav Ravlinko. I am senior engineer at SoftServe. So today I will demonstrate how to do that and which way. Before we can start, I just run actual deploy, and during this deploy just show you how it works. So Terraform apply, and now we see that it starts running. So let's describe just a typical target application for this demo. That's .NET application that is using Microsoft SQL Server, and that's like a more advanced Hello World application that you used to work with. So nothing fancy, nothing special about that. How did I set that target application? For operation point of view, we're more interested in how to deploy this application, configure this application, and how this application will be like a developed and tested. So here we'll just describe two domains from IT, like configuration management and release management. That's well-known practices. I suppose if you're familiar with DevOps, it shouldn't be a problem too, because they use the same terminology, and actually they just share this knowledge between these practices. So let's start. Tool sets that allow us to implement those practices, call it kitchen ops. And that's in particular our case, that's ecosystem that allows us to just implement some sort of sandboxes and different environment for development, test, and probably even production purposes. Organization it's rather complicated and can vary case by case, so I will skim that. But overall, this system allows us to build, how did I set, sandboxes or templates for typical applications. So for example, here I just demonstrate you like a Java sandbox. That's like a 3-tier application with Apache, Tomcat, and with MySQL database. So it's very useful if you're working with such application on daily basis. So using this sandbox, developer can just build from scratch this environment and use it for development purpose. But today we're more interested in .NET sandbox. So our demonstration related to development, build, and deploy .NET application to a specific environment. Of course, we have two actors. It's like a developer guy or developer team who wrote some code and put on Git repository. The same story about operation guy, operation team. Workflow is typical, so we have a continuous integration system, we have a package, we have a build, and artifact repository. Here we use an S3 bucket, but you can choose wherever you want instead of that to store your binary. And of course, deployment. Deployment is more operation-related activities, so not a lot involvement of development team. Operation team will work on the same workflow but different toolset and different scripts. So for example, we'll be using Packer instead of build system, so that will be using scripts. The same story, we will be using scripts to build some chef recipe for chef configuration manager, etc, etc. So that's kind of different, but overall workflow it's similar. Of course, binary for us is not a package, it's like a real virtual machine that will be deployed on S3 and will be used as artifact for Terraform to deploy and create this machine on vSphere in our case. So let's discuss a tool set a little bit closer. So here you see a chef, like major configuration tools for configuration management, and we have an environment like a vSphere. We'll skip chef because it's more well known and just concentrate our attention on Packer. at least on this stage, because further we will describe Terraform as deployment tool. So Packer is some sort of tools for building virtual machines or images for different infrastructure providers. In our case, that's virtual machine. It's simple template for vSphere server. So can be deployed directly on vSphere or can be stored on S3. So it depends on your wish, on your strategy, and your idea and your workflow. But in our case, this template already deployed on vSphere, so we already working with that. Of course, crucial component of our ecosystem is actual scripts that responsible for configuration. In our case, it's like a chef cookbooks and recipes. That's Packer templates that will be responsible for building actual virtual machine for vSphere. But in our case, we will skip this part because it's like a preparation and we're more interested in deploying. And in deploying, our tools is Terraform. Terraform will be using Chef to deploy and configure actual application at vSphere. So let's just take a look at configuration file. So configuration file is pretty straightforward. It will define what service will be provider for us and who will be provide us infrastructure. In our case, we will just define vSphere server. We will just define how to connect them, where it's located, just to put our credential. In next session, we will define attributes of our virtual machine. It's for example, from which image it will be deployed. In our case, that image will already deployed. It is exactly the same virtual machine that was created by Packer on previous stage. Of course, we can define some specific attributes like a memory that will be allocated for this virtual machine, etc., etc. So that depends of your requirements. So all that allow us to bootstrap virtual machine on vSphere. Next stage, that's actual deploying application on this virtual machine, and we have like two steps to do that. First of all, using provisioner file, we just copy all needed files to directly on this machine. So it's like a cookbooks, it's actually some artifacts. Step 2, it actually application deployment made by Chef Solo. So it's simple, use all these artifacts and run list to just download, deploy and run application. So how it looks on actual deployment, so as far as you see, that's our Terraform apply, and you see how this remote execution command is executed. So it's exactly the same command like you see on our manifest. So let's skip boring process of actual deployments. For my side, it's take me like a 23 minutes. So as far as you see, resources is created. So it's actually our application, our server, application up and running. And so right now we can test that and try how it works. So let's just open vSphere console and see, yes, we have our virtual machine. So we can check summary to see parameters. It's like an IP address. So all parameters that was defined in manifest is applying to this machine. This machine is up and running, and right now we can use this IP address to just simply connect to actual application. So let's just copy and open that application. So application, how I did said before, it's a simple application, not hello world. It's a little bit bigger because we need to demonstrate a database. And let's go to database, actual database. Right now we're inside this virtual machine, and you see that some tables were created, and let's see how it works in reality. As you see that students page, so you see some records, few of them. Let's change something, for example, like in course tab, we will change, for example, microeconomics. It will, let's check for 5, save, it saves successfully, value was changed. So let's see how it works on database level. We just choose this our course table and just select all records from this database. Nothing fancy. We'll just use define it. Select 1000 rows. So to just to see what records do we have in this table. So right now we see all courses and see that we change microeconomics to 5. So let's just change that in real time, so see that it's really changing. So just literature, so it's like I've changed to value. No, it's failed because it's not allowed by field, and change to 1 and see what's happened in database directly. So we have a 4 and we have 1, so works perfectly fine. So I suppose we should be happy how this application works. And actually, when you stop developing this application, you can just destroy this virtual machine. So it's like a Terraform destroy, and it should destroy this virtual machine for vSphere. And let's check that. As far as you see, this machine was deleted, and it's like a timestamp when it was done. So as you see, we deployed this application, we start using this application, we destroyed this application. Very easy, very simple, no problem at all. Actually, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think it was useful. So if you have any question, any problem similar to that, feel free to contact us, so we will be glad to help you and simply to just share our knowledge and experience with you. So thank you very much and have a nice day.